I was always chasing something. From as early as I can remember, I wanted to be the best, the smartest in school, the fastest on the field, the one everyone looked up to. When I graduated college and landed a job at a prestigious finance firm, it felt like my moment had arrived. I had clawed my way out of a modest upbringing into a world of penthouses, tailored suits, and exclusive parties. I was going to conquer it all. The first time I had a drink to celebrate closing a deal, it felt like a rite of passage. Everyone was doing it. Glasses clinking, laughter echoing in the dimly lit bars where the powerful went to unwind. I didn't think much of it. A drink here, a drink there. It was part of the job, part of the culture. But over time, those celebratory drinks turned into something else. I started drinking when the pressure felt unbearable, when a deal fell apart, or when I felt like I wasn't good enough. Then one night at a party, someone offered me a line of Coke. I hesitated for a moment, but the guy leaned in and said, "This will keep you sharp. It'll help you outpace everyone else." That was all I needed to hear. One quick inhale, and the world transformed. My anxiety evaporated, and I felt invincible. The drink in my hand tasted better, the conversation flowed smoother, and for the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was drowning. Cocaine became my secret weapon. It kept me alert during endless workdays and gave me the confidence to push through when my body and mind were screaming for rest. I thought I had found the perfect balance. Work hard, party harder, then reset and do it all over again. For a while, it worked. My career soared. My name started appearing in industry magazines. I was invited to exclusive events, rubbing shoulders with people I once idolized. But the cracks were already forming. At first, they were small. I'd oversleep and miss a meeting. I'd snap at Lisa, my wife, for no reason. I'd drink a little too much at company dinners and slur my words, but people laughed it off. "That's just Bill," they'd say. "Work hard, play hard." Then the cracks widened. I started sneaking drinks at odd hours. My hands would shake until I had a shot of whiskey in the morning. Cocaine, once reserved for nights out, became a necessity just to make it through the day. I'd lock myself in the bathroom at the office, hoping no one would hear the telltale sniffling afterward. Lisa noticed, of course. She wasn't stupid. "You're not yourself anymore," she said one night as I stumbled through the door at 2 a.m. "I can't keep doing this with you." I promised her I'd stop. I meant it every time I said it. But the truth was, I couldn't. The moment I knew I was in trouble came during a company retreat. We were playing a round of golf, a sport I'd picked up years earlier in an attempt to network. My hands were trembling so badly I could barely grip the club. Someone made a joke about needing another drink to steady my aim, and I laughed along, but inside, I felt sick. By then, I was losing deals left and right. My boss called me into his office one afternoon and told me I needed to pull myself together. "We've invested a lot in you, Bill. Don't make us regret." The binges got worse. My world began to shrink. The friends who once admired me stopped calling. Lisa threatened to leave more than once, but I'd beg her to stay, promising that I'd change. And then one night, I woke up on the floor of our living room, surrounded by empty bottles and traces of white powder. Lisa stood over me, her face pale. "I'm done," she said. "I can't watch you destroy yourself anymore." She left the next day. I spiraled completely after that. Days blurred together in a haze of booze and blow. I stopped showing up to work and eventually they stopped paying me. My bank account dwindled. The luxury apartment I'd been so proud of was repossessed. I ended up in a dingy motel room, staring at my reflection in a cracked mirror. That's when Ethan called. Ethan was an old college buddy. He'd been the life of the party back in the day, but I hadn't seen him in years. When he walked into the coffee shop where we agreed to meet, I almost didn't recognize him. He looked calm, grounded. "Man, you look good," I said, genuinely surprised. He laughed. "I feel good." I didn't believe him at first when he told me he'd got
I used to do that.
Ethan had been wilder than me. If he could get sober, what was my excuse? "How'd you do it?" I asked. He leaned back in his chair and said, "I didn't. I couldn't. But I found something bigger than me that could." I didn't fully understand what he meant, but I was desperate enough to listen. He told me about a group he joined, where people like us, people who had hit rock bottom, came together to share their stories and support each other. He said they worked through a set of steps that helped them stay clean, one day at a time. A week later, I walked into my first meeting. The room was small and filled with people who looked nothing like me. Construction workers, waitresses, retirees. I wanted to leave, but something made me stay. When they started sharing their stories, I heard pieces of my own life in every one of them. It wasn't easy. The first few weeks felt like hell. My body craved the substances I'd depended on for years, and my mind told me I'd never be able to live without them. But the people in that room kept telling me, just don't drink or use today. That's all you have to do. Day by day, it got easier. I started working through the steps, admitting that I was powerless over alcohol and cocaine, and surrendering to the idea that maybe, just maybe, there was something greater than me that could help. Today, I'm sober. I have my life back, or rather, I've built a new one. Lisa and I are working on rebuilding our relationship, and I've found purpose in helping others who are still struggling. I used to think addiction was my downfall. Now I see it as the thing that saved me.